Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. My name is Sean Dex, and I welcome you back to the Mango Grove for your daily analysis video. In today's video, we'll be covering Bitcoin. Yes, the big daddy of them all. And I know, a lot of you guys will be thinking, but Sean, we want altcoins. It's the altcoins that are making us so much money. Look at XRP, it's 158% up. Look at XLM, it's 80% up. But believe me when I tell you this, guys, unless you fully understand how Bitcoin moves, you will never be able to fully capitalize on your altcoin gains. Why do I focus on Bitcoin so much? Is it because I want to be boring? Is it because I just hate altcoins? No, I want to profit just as much as you guys. But my years in this market has allowed me to fully understand that unless I spend the time understanding how Bitcoin moves and how its movement impacts the rest of the market, I will never be able to fully profit and avoid losses, more importantly, on the altcoin markets. There's a reason, guys, why we were able to, one, capitalize on the perfect entries and exits on the previous altcoin run, and why, number two, this time around as well, we were able to predict. We had hypothesized. We said, hey, guys, towards the end of the year, perhaps mid-November-ish, we will likely see a end-of-year altcoin run. Now, were we certain it was going to happen? No, nothing certain. But because of the way things were shaping out on the Bitcoin, on the higher time frames, right, on the Bitcoin charts, we were able to get mentally prepared, mentally ready for many of these altcoin moves, right? So we are enjoying our Ethereum wins, we are enjoying our Chainlink win thus far. Yes, we didn't catch XRP. By the way, Krisha did do a analysis on XRP yesterday. Please go ahead and check that out. That being said, let's go ahead and start with our Bitcoin analysis today. We're looking at the Mango Research dashboard, available, by the way, at app.mangoresearch.co. We're looking at the 4-day time frame right now, right? And you guys know, on Bitcoin, we love the higher time frame. You can see right over here, 62% return ever since we got the signal over here at October 22nd. It's been more than a month now, and you had to do literally nothing. Just sit and watch Bitcoin go up and up and up. And this, again, is why we prefer the higher time frames so much, because it allows you to make less mistakes. And the reason it allows you to make less mistakes is because you have less actions to take, right? We only make a decision once the 4-day candle actually closes, right? So guys, if you're, depending on the time frame you are playing, I will give you a very, very strong tip. Something that could really, this one small thing that is seemingly so easy to do when said out loud, but harder to do in practice, will change your overall results as a trader. Wait for the candle to close before you make your decision, right? Whether you're playing the 4-hour, the 12-hour, or the daily, the 2-day, the 4-day, etc. Doesn't matter. If you've entered based on a certain level or trend on the 4-hour, do not exit before that 4-hour candle actually closes. Don't make your decision on a wick, because you will get shaken out so many times. For those of you who are on the Mango C program, you guys know I made you go through a particular exercise to drill this into your heads. And the importance of that concept cannot be understated. Those of you who took that exercise seriously came up to me and said, hey, Sean, my perception on trend trading, my perception on candle closes, my perception on my emotions, everything has completely changed, right? Just something as small as that. And that was towards the beginning of the program too, right? After that, all the other concepts that we talked about, I kept drilling that idea into your heads. Now, I try to do that in these daily videos too, right? Over and over again. I keep saying it over and over again, but people still fall victim to these small mistakes. And if you keep allowing your emotions to get the better of you guys, you will not be successful in this game. Okay, so one of the things that you have to control is your ability to simply be patient and wait for the higher time frames to give you easy trades. And that's all we have been doing, and based on the higher time frames, we have been positioning ourselves on the more aggressive trades on the lower time frames when the time is right. And those low time frame trades may be altcoins, or they may actually end up being Bitcoin every so often. And I did actually add to my trade on Bitcoin. I'll be talking about why, but before we do that, we will be taking a step back today and focusing one more time on the high time frames, and I think it'll be beneficial for all of you who are looking to take this seriously. For those of you looking for just quick calls and quick answers, this video is likely not for you. Find another channel altogether, because I am a very, very boring trader. But hey, it does work for me. Alright, so enough of that ramble. This is what we're going to do today. We're going to take a step back, look at the high time frames. We're going to start with the monthly actually, and then we're going to drill down. We'll drill down all the way to the 12-hour time frame, because I did take a trade over there, or rather I added to my position on Bitcoin based on one of the 12-hour levels. But we are going to start with the higher time frames. I'm going to switch on over to BLX right over here, and we're looking at the monthly time frame. Yes, the monthly time frame. If you guys have been following now for months, you guys know that one of the key levels that I was eyeing was this 10,650-ish level, right over here. We were looking for this month over here, the month of September, to close above it. That was our big indication as to whether or not we would be posturing ourselves bullishly towards the month close. Now, for those of you who have just found Mango's channel, it would serve you well to go ahead and watch those older videos. They're all available, right? Now, it may be boring, but it'll be educational to see, for you guys to see how it all panned out. Okay, it wasn't that we are geniuses or oracles. It was a very simple if this, then that. If we close underneath 10,650, we would have been posturing ourselves for further downside, perhaps all the way down to 9,470. But we never got that candle close underneath this level over here. The month defended itself. The month of September defended itself well, and then we had October push towards the upside just like we expected, right? If this, then that. Now, what was the next level that we were looking for Bitcoin to reach after this level here, after 10,650? The upside level was these candle closes right over here at 3,000, or rather 13,950-ish. And what do you know? Bitcoin actually came and shot right into that level. Didn't close above it, but right into it, right? Now, not giving us the clearest of trades, but nonetheless showing us a lot of strength. So we had one major goal for Bitcoin leading towards the end of the year, and that was putting in this symmetrical structure, right? I'm going to go ahead and mark it up for you guys. This perfect structure. We were looking for Bitcoin to close this structure like this towards the end of the year. Now, it did it earlier. It did it going into the month of November, and we still have almost all of December to come too now, and Bitcoin's already sitting there. But we weren't just looking for the structure to hold on the monthly. We were a little bit more strict than even this. We said, hey, the 3-month is what we're really looking at, right? This, look at how beautiful the structure is, guys, on the 3-month. Look at that. Gorgeous. So the year will be ending with the 3-month structure in this posture, depending on how this candle actually closes. And why were we looking at the 3-month, guys? Because the 12-month too was also looking like a very strong bull flag like structure, right? I'm going to step back now all the way to a 12-month, and we're going to re-drill down 12-month, 3-month, monthly. Okay, you guys are going to get an idea of how we're going to be positioning ourselves, or why we rather position ourselves bullishly at 10,650. You guys look at the structure over here, guys. This bullish flag, right, on the freaking yearly, closed a bullish candle above $760, led to the entire bull run of 2017 into $20,000. Same structure over here. We are seeing something similar. Now, yes, this pole over here is not as long as this pole over here, and we may not have as much of a parabolic move, but guys, that's how markets find equilibrium over the long term. Volatility tends to reduce over decades and decades of a market maturing, right? So don't expect the same kind of parabolic move, but the move that we could get will still be significant, very significant, shockingly significant for people at the very least. So what are we looking at over here? let's go ahead and remove the drawings. And now let's go ahead and mark two easy levels on this yearly chart that are going to be very important going into the 3-month structure. We had this level right over here at around 750-ish, and currently the level to be looking at is around 14,000, right? We are rounding up, rounding down, because the exact numbers don't really matter when you're looking at such higher time frames. Now we're going to drill down back to the 3-month, okay? And you're going to see that, woof, things are beginning to get spicy. Look at how similar this structure is over here to this structure right over here, okay? Over here, we had a previous parabolic run from 2013 to 2014, put in a candle close high at around 750, went into a bear market consolidation, broke the candle close high at 750. Remember, guys, these candles are each 3 months long, okay? 3 months. We closed above it, got the retest, and then a parabolic bull run into our next major candle close high. And from there, we put in another bear market, had a consolidation, and now we are threatening to do something very, very similar. If Bitcoin closes the 3-month over here, we will also be closing the yearly candle above this level over here. And I just showed you how important that's going to be, okay? Now, that, in fact, is going to be only the first step of the two things that we are looking for. Remember, we talked about this already around a month or so ago. We are looking for the 3-month to close above 14,000 and also take out this high over here at around, I think it's 19,800-ish, right? Somewhere around there. So taking out the previous bull market high as well as closing the yearly above 14,000 is going to likely lead to fireworks. And this is actually a question that a lot of people have been asking. They've been asking what would happen if Bitcoin actually takes out this high over here of $20,000. And we touched on this a little bit, right? We talked about how there's likely going to be a lot of stops above this level over here, right? A lot of stops that would be tapped into if Bitcoin actually takes out that high. And the reason for that is because there's a really easy trade in the minds of traders who are looking to short the previous high of Bitcoin. They're like, hey, all I have to do is put a short position over here around $19,800 to $20,000, and if we take out the high, I'll simply get out of my trade. The problem with that, though, is that if they try to get out of the trade and they find a lack of liquidity to actually get out at the price they want to, so for example, let's say you put in a position at around $20,000, right? And you're thinking, you know what, I'll just get out around 20,500 if we go past the 20,000 level, right? Anywhere between 20,000 and 20,500 is fine for me. I have my position size in accordance to allow for that $500 slippage. If too many people are thinking like that, but there's no liquidity in the market to actually even buy back at 20,500 for all the short sellers, we are going to start seeing people forced to buy back at 21,000, 22,000, 23,000. And then you have panic short sellers buying back at whatever price they can because they were holding off. And then they feel the pain of thinking, oh my God, if this can just keep going, right? That's how you see those slippages to the upside and slippages to the downside, guys. A lot of times it is because of situations like these where people are getting squeezed out of their positions because they're trying to get out at a better price, and eventually they just capitulate and end up buying back at a much higher price. So they think, okay, you know what, I'll just get out at 20,500. The market doesn't allow them to do it, and boom, they end up buying back at around 26,000 or something like that. So that's again, we just came up with the number 26,000 after looking at a few things. In fact, actually, we can go ahead and do a measured move of this structure over here, right? This is essentially a ascending triangle, a bull flag. There are two ways to be looking at this. Let's go ahead and just look at this as a ascending triangle, okay? If you had to use this as a measured move, you can go ahead and we can be a little bit conservative and just use this measure over here. And we can go ahead and just put it right over here. What does that come up to? That actually does come up to around 26,000, but that's I'm being a little bit unfair. Let's bring this down a little bit to match the horizontal, and what does that come up to? 25,829. That's as good as 26,000 actually. So hey, we are actually coincidentally seeing something else line up with that 26,000 level. Let's see if it actually pans out that way. Remember, we don't know what's going to happen for sure. All we know is that, hey, the probabilities lie for so and so happening. We are positioning ourselves accordingly for that situation. And if you guys do remember, we talked about why I added to my position and why I was building a position at $17,200. So close to the all-time high. I wanted to be in position for this scenario, where stops get triggered at 20,000 and we see a massive push towards the upside, right? We talked about that. So we are seeing a lot of that unfold right now. If you go back on over to the monthly, we are looking at a very, very strong chart over here, guys. Like, wow. So we talked about the higher time frames now, right? Now let's drill down to the mid time frames, and by mid I'm talking about the 4-day in specificity. So I'm going to switch back on over to should we just use BLX? No, let's go ahead and find Coinbase chart. 19,306. Bitcoin is actually doing it while I was rambling over here. Remember guys, the BLX chart does not update. It only updates at the end of the day. So Bitcoin was moving while I was talking. So we're going to go ahead and look at the 4-day really quickly. Right, I'm going to talk about what levels we were looking at on the 4-day time frame, and that was essentially 19,000. I have the levels marked out right over here, and you can see that Bitcoin came on the last 4-day candle, came smacked right up against it, and Bitcoin is now threatening to actually close above it, but we only close this 4-day candle in another 2 days and 14 hours. So unless we actually take out the high, which we may very well do, I will not be convinced that we are going to see follow through. I want to see the high getting taken out, or I want to see a 4-day candle close above 80. What is this level right over here? I don't have the horizontal marked out perfectly, so let me go ahead and adjust this right over here. Okay, so this level over here is coming in at around 90. We can just look at this corner right over here on the top and look for the C. The C says 19,039. Okay, now I did add to my position though, okay? Regardless of whether the 4-day has closed above it or not, I did add to my position. And some of you may be confused with that, but it's not very dissimilar to what we did when we added to our position at around 17,200. Now again, quick recap, the major levels that we were looking at going into this rally, right, into basically past the elections, because if you guys do remember, I closed out my position from around 10,500 going into the elections, and ever since then I was looking for a really good level to be building my position, and I essentially only was able to find a really good confident level at that 17,200. That's why I was feeling very comfortable. And right over here you guys can see why. We talked about how we have a range as well as a very nice pivot point in the middle of our range, a strong pivot point. Unlike most middle ranges, the 17,200 was really key, so we went very aggressive over there. Right now, similarly on this 4-day, right, we haven't closed above it. On this 4-day level at around 19,000ish, we haven't closed above it, but on the 12-hour we have done two things that made me really like that trade as an opportunity. I could be wrong about it, and I'll be willingly getting rid of the position if the trade actually goes against me. For those of you, by the way, who are on the Mango Seed, there's an example in the Seed Plays section on Discord of me building a position and getting out of a trade that did not go my way. Okay, you know what? I'll just quickly go ahead and explain it for those of you who are watching on YouTube as well, because this is an important concept. But I'll try and be as quick as possible. So let's say I get into a trade at somewhere around here. Okay, now I'm just using this as a drawing tool. So let's say I get into a trade at somewhere around $2,000 on whatever asset. Let's say it's Ethereum, sitting at around $2,000, and then Ethereum goes my way, okay, all the way to around $3,400, and I'm looking at this $3,400 level, okay, as a really important pivot point. I'm like, all right, cool. If we reclaim this level too, or rather, if we take this level out, okay, I am looking to buy on the retest of that level. Now I add to my position right over here if we actually do something like that, okay, and I'm mentally already prepared for this to happen. If it happens, I'm ready to add to my position, okay. Now it happens and I take my trade because I really like it. It's lining up with a lot of things too. Remember, we look at things holistically. Now from here I have a position, okay, we can name this P1 and I have P2. And I'm already planned for a scenario like this, right? All the way at P1, I'm already hypothesizing all these scenarios, so I'm mentally ready, and I'm risked managed myself too for a position like P1 plus P2. However, if we lose this level instead of seeing continuation, right, I will get out of P2, or rather I will get rid of the P2 position that I added. According to the trade that I'm in, I may also take profits of P1. If you guys in the seed program, you guys know that in that particular trade, I actually did take 50% profits of P1 too, because of the dynamic that we currently were in. And you guys will get a hint of that with the follow-up posts that I posted in that channel. But anyways, that's a quick explanation for those of you guys who are watching on YouTube as well, because this kind of build up to your trade management will be very, very important on the trending trade opportunities, along with the support and resistance trades that we will be getting throughout this bull market. All right, so enough of this now. Let me go ahead and skip this drawings over here. I want to go ahead and talk to you guys about what I saw on the 12-hour that essentially made me like the position to add this morning. And let's zoom in. Okay, so right over there you can see that we closed the 12-hour candle above this 4-day level that we looked at. More importantly, we're seeing continuation right away, man. Bitcoin is making me so happy. And on the Mango Dynamic 2 on the 12-hour, essentially, as soon as we saw this, by the way, okay, guys, as soon as we saw this getting closed, or rather defended, we closed the 12-hour candle above the Mango Dynamic over here, and this lined up with the daily dynamic getting its dotted retest. We talked about how, okay, cool, that's going to be really key, and we're going to remember that the 12-hour defense along with the daily gives us that more confidence to be playing the 12-hour more aggressively moving forward. And you guys can see now, right over there, we defended the 12-hour dots as well and gave us a nice retest after getting the candle close above this level. Now, I wasn't too keen on just adding over here, right, on this first candle close. I wasn't too keen. I wanted to, but I wasn't too keen on doing it because I wanted something safer where if we do lose the 12-hour now underneath 19,000 or lose the daily, I can just simply get out of my position and it won't hurt that much. Similarly, if we lose the daily and immediately see a downside move without me having enough time to get out of my trade, it won't hurt as much, right? Volatility won't hurt because I have a buffer between my entry and the point at which I'm getting invalidated. Very similar to what I just explained to you guys, right? Remember, we had this, the move, right? And then a level into our move, the retest, and boom. But where did I actually get my ad over here? I got my ad over here, right? So I got my ad underneath the level at which I'm going to be wrong at. All right, so let's go ahead and quickly wrap up with the lower time frame so we get an idea of what Bitcoin's likely going to do in the nearer time frames, because Bitcoin is being aggressive right now. We do have a level right over here that Bitcoin already came tested and has bounced off it again. This also lined up with why I like that position today. 18,650-ish, closed above the 18,800 level. We have a horizontal over here that we can look at as well. I wonder if Bitcoin actually ends up doing something a little bit like this, right? That would be beautiful. That'd be beautiful, and then take us on over to the levels that we were talking about on the higher time frames. But that's our upside targets, and upside targets is a wild card right now. Anything can happen. We're going into potential price discovery. Towards the downside, if we lose the next 4-hour candle close, by the way, which is closing in 51 minutes at the time of this recording, is lining up with the 12-hour candle close. If we actually lose this, I will be looking for a move all the way down to first over here at 18,200, right? We have a level right over here. And then we have another level right over here at around 17,600-ish. So again, step by step, losing 18,800-ish, we can look for a move to 18,200. If we lose that as well, we can look for a move all the way down to around 17,600. Losing this is going to be a little bit painful, okay, a little bit painful for the Bitcoin bulls, and we'll be looking for the next move around this structure over here. We can mark this as an entire block actually, right? In fact, we can go ahead and stretch this down just a tad bit more just to give us some more leeway, because if we do see a volatile move all the way down over here, we may see wicks that people won't be expecting. The big buy opportunity that I'm looking for is all the way down around 14,000 right over here, guys. Okay, I'm not sure whether we'll get that, but that's what I'm looking for. And I don't think if we even do see a break of these levels over here, I don't think it's going to happen immediately. I don't think we'll get down over here immediately. We may see something like this, a bounce, retest to around this level, and then something like that. That's downside targets, because remember, we need to be mentally prepared for both scenarios, upside and downside. If you're mentally prepared for the trade to go against you, you know how to react. Okay, that way we get to react with a stress-free mindset, the mango mindset. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but these are the things that matter, guys. The more boring stuff that actually will make you a long-term, consistent, profitable trader. If you did enjoy it, leave a comment down below. Let me know. That way I feel more confident in doing these kind of videos more often instead of feeling like I'm wasting my goddamn time. Nonetheless, throw a like, throw a subscribe, whether you hate the video or not. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.